Hi, Amir. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. Thank you for having me.
I'm super excited to listen like what you are building.
Mhm.
Amir, can you introduce yourself?
Sure. So my name is Amir Banet. I am the CEO, now general manager responsible for PerfectScale. PerfectScale, in very short words, is all about Kubernetes optimization, making sure that you don't need to guesstimate, that everything that you need to set is properly done by looking at your historical trends, understanding the forecast and what's going to happen, and also the criticality of
Yeah.
each workload to your business. So you can take data-driven decision regarding your pod right sizing, containers right sizing, and also how to do better bin packing in the nodes that you have, and changing the nodes is needed.
That's a great problem to solve. Amir, so from PM to becoming a CEO, what was your journey? How's that?
Yeah, so most of my career was devoted for creating solution to delight the end
Yeah.
customers. And that's the main job of the PM, to find really products, to build products that delight and provide meaningful value to the end users. And I've been doing it for 15 years before starting this startup, both as an individual contributor, but also as a leader of PM teams. My last job was in a startup called Semanage that was acquired by SolarWinds. I was a director of product management back then. Yeah, and there is a lot of correlation between the job of a CEO to the job of the PM, because in both cases, you need to really zoom into a problem that has a market behind it,
Right.
understand, do the research, and make sure that you are that you are creating the best solution out there, looking at the competitors, looking, of course, on the demands that are coming from the field. So in that regards, there is a lot of similarities, but
Yeah.
of course, there are a lot of also differences between the two positions. But I think it is a great starting point for any CEO if he
CEO.
has the background.
Like if
as
you
a-
have vision to becoming the CEO, then it's a great start if you start with the PM.
I'm
So
not
what?
saying it's a must.
Yeah.
I'm saying that this
It's
is definitely an advantage if
right.
you are coming with product management.
Right. So what do you think like the best product you have worked on? You loved working on that product.
Oh, definitely PerfectScale, because here I have the fund control, and I have influence on all the pieces, not just in the product, but also the go-to-market and how the website looks and things of that nature. So you are kind of in full control on all the aspects that relates to the business. Whereas as a PM,
Mhm.
definitely you have control, but some of it you kind of rely on other people because it's not in your kind of your scope of work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as a CEO, basically, it depends on how much you want to intervene, but theoretically, you have the power to intervene and to influence on all aspects of the company.
That's great. So as you said, the perfect scale is the bestest product you have ever worked on. So can you tell us more about the perfect scale and what's that one point like, okay, I'm going to work on this product and I'm going to solve this problem.
So from day one, we knew what is going to be our
How
space.
that started? I mean, I just wanted to know that.
Yeah. So we did a lot of evaluation
Huh.
to whether or not what we had in mind is going to work, because both me and my other two co-founders came from strong companies. We had the good salaries. We have a very secure kind of financial future ahead
Yeah.
of us by being employees in other companies. So before we decided to kind of dive into the cold water of entrepreneurship and starting our own adventure, we wanted to make sure that we are taking an educated risk.
Okay.
And as we had the kind of the problem figured out, we
Mhm.
wanted to validate whether this is something common, that many companies are not only suffering from the same problem, but also have the willingness to pay to
Right.
actually solve this problem. Now, the story of PerfectScale began between me and my co-founder Eli, was the CTO, and Eli was exactly the persona that we are tackling with our solution, because he used to be a DevOps manager working in a company that had a lot of Kubernetes environments, and the challenges that he had as a DevOps manager regarding, again, the continuous need to evaluate what is going on, where there are misconfiguration, what should be the right configuration to set it up properly. All of that is kind of cumbersome and never-ending kind of a work that we both agree that it must be a better way to address it. And this is where our journey starts, by actually talking with, I think it was around 30 different companies, talking with either platform engineering managers, DevOps manager, R&D managers, to really understand how critical is this problem and whether they are willing again to invest in actually solving it. And once we saw that there is here a potential to really make a big difference, we started by taking money from our own pockets and hiring few engineers.
So it was bootstrap, like, okay.
In the beginning, yes.
Okay. So can you tell us the timeline when you...
In the first half a year, it was bootstrap.
Okay.
We added the third founder, who was the VP R&D, Michael, who helped us again to build all the foundation, the architectural aspects. And we had in those days 3 engineers that worked with us, and 1 UX/designer that helped us with all the UI and UX. And after half a year, where we had already a kind of established prototype and few early access users, we decided to go and find the first source of external money. And we did a pre-seed led by UpWest, a VC that is located in the Silicon Valley. And that pre-seed was for $2.7 million, something like that. And that lasted us for a couple of months until we did the major seed round, which was 7.1, if I remember correctly. Something like that.
That's so huge. I mean, also to simplify the whole process, like you just said, so can we just make it in a steps, like 4 steps, or maybe we can do in 5 steps?
So luckily for us, we did not need to go through a pivot exercise.
Okay.
Because we invested so much during the initial kind of research phases. So from day one, we knew what we want to build. There was a little bit kind of a question mark regarding whether we want to create a complete autonomous solution from day one, or do we want to invest in building a UI that will kind of provide to the end users all the information that they need to kind of guarantee why our recommendation are the right one to achieve. And we actually changed the point of view, and we went from a complete autonomous to let's first build a platform that serves the customers and give them all the information that they need, and only then move to the autonomous complete remediation platform. So the phases, I would say, were the early access, getting the first funds, then moving to a fully commercialized product that we started selling. I think that was back in May 2022, where we had our first customers. I remember that in September we had the first...
September 2025?
September 2023.
Okay.
We had our first 6-figure deal. That was, a big... and that was a very well-known company. I will not mention their name. But that was, again, a very substantial kind of a milestone that we reached in the company. And after we had the seed round, then it would allow us to increase the go-to-market, to start having more salespeople, because in the beginning it was me. I was doing all the sales. But after the seed round, our company grew to 20 people. And by the end of the acquisition, so we were acquired in 2025 in January. We already have been with more than $1 million ARR, and we had more than 30 people working in PerfectScale.
What's your point of view about the acquisition? So I think that was your first acquisition by some big company, right? So how
that was my first startup. So I'm a first time founder. And this acquisition actually came as a surprise because neither myself nor the other founders were looking for an exit that early. But we saw great synergy between what we are building and what Doit we're building. We saw that the strategical place that we will have in the Doit portfolio and how important that we will have a better together kind of a story. So that was one. The other thing is the DNA of the company and the DNA of the Do It founders and executive leadership. We saw that it is really well connected. So unlike companies that acquire you where you are a very small piece of the puzzle and you don't feel really attached emotionally, here we knew from day one that it's going to be a very fruitful relationship to both
Yeah.
sides.
I mean, sometimes what happen when somebody acquires some company, then it's like something that doesn't match,
Right.
right?
Right.
So that is something very usual I see in the industry that happen because I think the Bento website, if you heard about it, the social website we have to create
Mhm.
like from Bento, and it is acquired by Linktree. So right now, the everything that we have created by Bento, it's just gone.
Unfortunately, it happens way too often,
Yeah.
also in our industry. But this is why it's so important that founders, as they are looking at what are their possibilities, don't take just the highest bidder, but
Yeah.
think about really what will be the future of your solution in the company that acquired you. How much freedom you will get. How can you get the securities that you need to for your people to thrive in the new company and actually be able to succeed and to reach new heights. So all of that were kind of the factors that I looked at. And so far, it has been more than a year.
Yeah.
And I can say that we were blessed with the company that acquired us because they give us the autonomy, they give us the strength to really pull and to reach to the full potential that we can get.
Also, I just wanted to ask, like, what's the one skill that you think is a must if someone wants to be an CEO or wants to be in the PM line?
So I think that the one skill that is kind of shared between a PM position and a CEO position is the listening to the market. Okay, and listening to the market in the fact it can be from the strategic level and it can be also on the tactical level because the prioritization is super critical both for a CEO and for a product manager because there is so much to do but not enough resources to accomplish everything. So again, where to invest? And it can be either money or headcount or even prioritization of the features.
Right.
These are, again, skills that a PM needs to own and also saying no to customers.
Yeah,
This is,
that's very important
yeah,
because we can't do a lot of things at one time, right?
exactly.
So also, what do you think about like we are today we are here at the KubeCon Europe, right? So what do you think these conferences helps in companies' success?
So for us, KubeCon was always the best kind of a venue or a conference to first to increase our brand awareness,
Yeah.
and most importantly is to get leads or opportunities from such an event because everyone here is using Kubernetes to some extent. Some of them are new to this world, and some of them are very veteran.
Yeah.
But in both cases, because we have also a freemium or a community edition built specifically for the newcomers to the Kubernetes world, so they are able to again to avoid some of the pitfalls by using us from day one. And this is naturally going as they are evolving,
Right.
so they can get it for free. And also, of course, for the more veteran that have large-scale Kubernetes environment, they will need to pay for our solution, but they are getting a lot of their headache kind of solved because things can be done in a much more data-driven manner and completely autonomously if they wanted to. So we have here a combination of users that all of them are relevant to our solution, no matter where they are in their, let's say, evolution of Kubernetes adoption. Yeah, and as we grow, we have a higher level of sponsorship. So now, for example, we are in the gold sponsorship. We are going to be very soon in the diamond, and it allows us to have again better brand recognition and more leads coming from such an event.
Yeah, but that's huge. I mean, I really love the because this is the first time I introduced to the perfect scale. Before that, I knew the do it.
Mhm.
So also, what how PerfectScale is using AI? Because right now in KubeCon, it's all about AI and KDs. So how you guys are also using the AI?
So there are
PerfectScale.
internal usage and there are things that we are going to open for our customers, and some of them have already been open. So I would divide it again internally. Most of our features are now built with the help of AI.
Yeah.
Let's start with that. And there is also AI that is used to solve tickets faster and to identify the root cause, things of that nature that I will put under the internal usage. The external usage is something that I find even more intriguing because it relates again to the previous work that I did as a PM. How can we provide value from AI to our end customers? And here we are doing a few things. First is relates to GPU.
Okay.
So we are already have GPU visibility in our platform. Very soon it's going to be GPU optimization.
That's
we are also providing as part of the AI bot assistance. So people will be able to interact with a bot to ask him questions like, what are the top 5 things that I need to do right now? Or what is the most concerning things that I need to be aware of? So you will have a conversation, and not only that the bot will be able to point you exactly to the right location, but it will also help you to resolve those issues and do stuff on your behalf. So this is another thing that we are currently working on. Okay. And there are other things that I cannot really share right now that also relates to
But
AI.
I'm so excited now, we are like very capable of doing a lot of things with the AI, and that is very interesting.
Yeah.
So, Amir, what's the life lesson you want to give to our audience? What's your life mantra?
So first, I guess that everyone knows it, but I will just repeat.
Yeah.
The road is tough and it is ups and downs, and any founder will tell you that he got a lot of rejections along the way. It can be rejection from prospects, it can be rejection from VCs. So you need to kind of build a tough skin and not let it kind of drown you. You need to be optimistic. You need to try again until you are able to find the right VC for you, until you're able to have strong enough brand recognition, and you are able again to get customers to come to you and to seek you. So things takes time, but in the end, if you put the right efforts in the right places and do the right choices, in the end, you should be in the right track to glory.
Yeah, I mean, it will be worth it, like if you're putting some time to something. But I mean, thank you so much for sharing
My
this.
pleasure.
It was great conversation with you.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.